depressed, cynical. So those are choices we all make throughout our life. So, with that in mind,
So
how
now,
do we make everything work well?
now I think I'm a parent, right? So I'm going to share with you how the parents work. How parents provide appropriate guidelines after you learn all this information and discover your kids' potential, and you find out the passion and help them to explore. So what does the parents do? The parents focus and support who the kids are. Not because I'm an auditor. I make sure my kids has to do the auditor job. I work for the government for 34 mixed years. He worked for the government. No. Is we find out what they like. We wanted to support them. So we have to be supportive and like a buffer. Be available to be a good listener. Just like everybody else. So kids are no different. They want our guide, the reinforcement, and comfort kids when they have experienced the ups and the downs of their life. Because don't forget that when the kids are in school, they are also in their own community. Okay? Do not make assumptions about the potential that they have. The parents' responsibility, of course I'm sure you all are good parents, otherwise you won't be sitting here. How to develop a strong work ethic. Because kids seeing you is like a mirror. Sometimes, some people say, oh, your kids look like you. I hope it's not just your handsome face or your pretty face. It's also you really reflect whatever you do in your house and whatever you treat people, whatever your responsibility are, your kids would absorb everything. So encourage your kids to be so focused, set realistic goals that they are fair and attainable. Instead of focusing or remark about their potential, give them compliment for their efforts, resilience, or initiative. And if they complete the task, praise them. Pay attention to the value of the effort, the process. It's not just like, I know that being Chinese, sometimes we're very practical. We want the kids to start from point A, jump to point D. No. Even though sometimes they cannot be successful, because don't forget the world is so compatible. If they can finish 3/4 of the way, but trying their very best and finish, still the process is important. When we think about when we were younger, how many things we have learned, how many times we have failed. So helping your team living in a balanced life is very important. Now, I don't want to just talk about balance life. I know sometimes it's difficult, even ourselves, right? But at least we have these 6 areas in your mind. How do you cultivate a good relationship? Just yourself with your kids, with your spouse. Because that is very important when you cultivate a good relationship with your spouse, with the people around you, with your coworker. Chances is your kids also learn this kind of EQ from you without you telling them. Treasure the true friendship and to develop the true love. And that is very, very important. Make life meaningful. Make the most of things in your life to make the difference. And naturally, your kids will make the difference as well. Maintain healthy mental and physical mind. That is very important. As you can hear, 1 out of 4 kids nowadays has some kind of mental issue. Why? Because sometimes they also have some kind of stress from the school. And also teach them financial intelligence. Because I know from some of the parents that they travel, and part of the parent, they have to live in other place to make a living. And sometimes these parents, they have a guilty feeling. And they come home and they give a lot of material thing for the kids. The kids doesn't really want that. I think the kids rather like to have a good communication with the parents, then can talk to the parent, can share their sorrow with the parent more than you just give them the gifts, a material thing. And also teach them, what is financial intelligence to them, how they manage money from the very young age. Because I understand a lot of kids go to university, they don't live at home, they spend the money crazily. And then all of a sudden they start to have credit card, oh boy, the credit rating is 400 instead of 750. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the credit reference. Okay? You cannot buy credit card, credit reference for your kids. It's they have to earn it themselves. So financial intelligence is very important. And then teach them. Find a passion to the work they do so that they don't feel, sometimes they get disappointed, but if they still have passion, they still have the resilience to work. More parents' responsibility are, number one, build the resiliency in the school and at home. Encourage the kids not to be afraid of any challenges. Of course, we have challenge. The kids has challenge too. Every day we have all kinds of challenge, right? So encourage them not to be afraid. You're not the only one. Mom has that too. And they say, oh, mom has that too. Then I can start to have a good conversation with my parents, right? Help enjoy and learn from all that life has to offer. Let them understand community services. Not just say, oh, you work 40 hours, volunteer work. Just do whatever. Just finish it so that you can do something else. No, teach them to enjoy. Let them find out what are the community responsibilities so that they can actually enjoy. It takes time for them to learn. By learning them, it really helps themselves to find out their potential as well. Praise their intelligence, creativity, self-confidence, and enthusiasm, but also they have to be humble. Nowadays, to teach kids to be humble, it's something else, okay? Just like when we were young, you tell me to be humble. I said, well, when was the last time I remember that, right? Talk about or focus on their potential. Now, let the kids understand resilience. That is very important because every day we meet a lot of challenge. We have a lot of up and down, a lot of zigzag. So resiliency is not one specific thing, but it's a combination of the skill and positive attributes that people gain from their life experience and relationships. The attributes help them solve the problem, cope with the challenge, long-term goal, and bounce back from the disappointment. And this is very true when you get down to it. And sometimes we have practiced it and we didn't even realize if you have it. This is better than the mental pills that you take. This is really some kind of skill that you pick up naturally and you really learn a lot by overcome a lot of difficulties. A resilient person can be deceived from the amount of emotion damage by taking from life-related problems, emotional, financial, education, or sometimes even your reputation get damaged. And if you have resilience, you can bounce back. Okay? How to develop resilience in kids? Then ask yourself, do I know what is resilience? How does the kids bounce back? Okay? Relationship and reaching out. How? A sense of belonging to communities and the groups. Strong parents-kids relationship. Good communications with the children. And care about them. And really ask them what's the problem. And be a good listener. Never let the kid feel that you are too busy for them. But mind you, there is difference between time management and this. I always say, I'm sure all of you, most of them are working parents, right? So when you are busy, if the kids ask you something, you will say, yeah, mom is busy. But for sure, identify the problem and say, can I get back to you because I'm on the phone, I'm doing something, I'm doing budgeting, or paying the bills or whatever you're doing, and just say to them, for sure, honey, I'm so glad you called me, and I'm so glad you tell me. How about, can I talk to you after an hour or something? Always make them feel they are your priority, okay? And understand the personality boundaries and not being selfish. How to develop resiliency in youth? The essence of having optimistic. Identify the difference between healthy optimism and a mindless positive attitude. Healthy optimistic is realistic, not based only on the belief, based on the practice, based on the practical experience and the skills. Young people have greater capacity to handle situations if they have a good guide, and you are the good guide, and you are the mentor. Give you a broad base of experience to explore and understand. How parents view the resiliency in youth. Supporting resiliency through good communication, be a good listener, and let them feel that you have the time for them. Respect the feeling, respect the voice and point of view that they have offered to tell you. Encourage them in respectful assertiveness. Respect their opinion, encourage them to support their view. And how parents view resiliency in youth. It supports resilience through strong relationship. Before the 8 years old, lots of effort, lots of affections, care, forgiveness, enjoyment. Let the kids know you care, especially Oriental dad. Okay, I'm not trying to put the dad down. Dad is always love the kids as much as the mom love the kids. But a lot of the time, dad doesn't want it to show. This is our Chinese culture, am I right? But kids need it in their heart. If you embrace them, you love them, you kiss them. Like even, I remember when my kids was younger, and he went up to dad, and dad just all of a sudden looked, I said, hey, this is in Canada, I told my husband. He said, oh yeah, yeah, okay. So age 11 and 12, beginning challenge idea and authority. Develop greater interest in friends. They love to play what? Video game is their little world. And other activities that draw them away from the parents. I must say that some of the video games are also good. Now, I don't mean all, but some of them are really good. In fact, I have spoke to some parents that they said, well, there's one way of me communicating with my kids is I play the good video game with my kids together, and we have a lot of fun. That's true. Okay, even if you ask my son, and he'll tell you the same thing. The teens, take one great responsibility, independent, and thinking for themselves. Parents change the role and relationships accordingly when they get to teen. It's not just like when they were from 1 year old to 4 years old, you do a lot of micro teaching and all this thing. But when they are getting bigger, sometimes we have to let go. We have to understand what is good enough as a mom and define the line to make the kids understand they have to carry their responsibility. They have to understand their learning ownership. Okay? How parents build resilient in youth, and let's see. All right, so we skip that. Resiliency in school. Participations. Participation in class learning style and learning activity at school. Academic ability, intelligence development, motivation to learn and work. Children activity participate in their own learning, ability to concentrate and solve problems. Parents are the first career coach. Do you agree? Right? So the career coach is, the biggest role is ours. Clarifying self-assessment, connecting dots and resources, exploration opportunity, challenging in setting goal and plan, motivating for kids' actions, introduce valuable volunteer work for the kids. In the public school, then we talk about at least the 40 hours volunteer work. And I know a lot of parents put their kids in the IB program, then the kids has to participate in the creativity, action, and the service program. That is at least 50 hours work for each of creativity, actions, and service. Okay. What are the youth needs nowadays? Kids need self-esteem, confidence, yes, I can do it, being positive attitude, respect, support, and parental care, and the biggest is the love and the understanding. Communication, listening to understand, open mind by the parents, modeling. Parents are the mirror for the youth.